Hi, my name is Elaine. Welcome back to Fairly Curated. And so today I will be talking about these two bags here in front of me. And these bags are associated with the YouTuber Tanner Leatherstein. So I'll link his channel below. And I want to say overall, I am a huge fan of Tanner Leatherstein. I think he is doing good work out there in the handbag community. You know, letting people know the quality of the bags that they're buying. I wholeheartedly agree that a lot of luxury bags are definitely overpriced and you are buying it for the name, you know, for the marketing and the idea of luxury. And so, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Tanner Leatherstein. I think he makes a lot of good points. I will say, though, that he is a leather craftsman by trade and not necessarily the one using the bags. And I have been, you know, using bags for, I don't know, 30 years or more. So, you know, it's a different sort of experience. I do agree with most of his viewpoints, but sometimes I will say there's one brand that he recommended, and even if their build was nice, maybe for that particular bag, the one that I used was not good. And so I do take his reviews with a grain of salt. We're coming at it from two different perspectives. But like I said, I'm a huge fan still. I really respect his opinions. And so when he started his own line of bags, I mean, he's always had his own brand called Atelier Pegai, but most of the time it was very rustic looking bags geared towards men, so I wasn't really interested. But he did come out with this Flora bag, I think it was at the end of last year or early this year. So this one right here, where he emphasized the quality of the leather, but to keep it sort of affordable, he decided to make it with less structure. And I think he's making them in Spain. So Ubric is a town in Spain very much well known for their bag making. I first heard of them because of Everlane. So when Everlane first started making bags, they sourced their bags there and it was beautiful. Like, I loved their bags, so I looked it up. That's when I first heard of Ubric, and then a couple years later, Polen came onto the scene and they also started making their bags at Ubric. They're a town known for bag craftsmanship. Also, just because, you know, Ubric is known for the production doesn't mean, again, across the board it's going to be the same high quality product. And of course, it depends on your manufacturer. It's going to depend on how much you spend and sort of the processes that you're paying for. So that being said, I guess I'll go into this bag in a little bit. The second bag here is from Stow, London. So if you saw my July haul post, I talked about how I got this bag because I saw his YouTube video saying now he is the director of craftsmanship at Stow. I mean, I think it's a little bit of marketing. I'm sure it's a collaboration, but I think they're kind of leveraging each other's names to kind of create some sort of buzz. I get it, you know, whatever it takes to get known in this handbag world. So I heard of Stow before because of Tanner Leatherstein. He did have rave reviews for their bags. But of course, if he's going to put his brand behind Stow, then it made me want to take a second look. I got this particular Curve East West bag from eBay. As I say in my July haul post, they were not in stock at the time I was looking for it. So then I found it on eBay. I think they're going to be stocking soon. Maybe this month or next month, depending what time this video gets edited and posted. And so now I have these two bags that I'm gonna review, both associated with Tanner Leatherstein, but there's one bag that I clearly love more. So can you guess which one it is? It is this one. So I hinted it in my past reviews, but there's a couple of things with this bag that I don't love. First being the design. So as much as the idea of an unstructured tote that doesn't look like a tote seems like a good idea, it's just super bulky. It doesn't fit. I mean, I will definitely do mod shots, but it definitely doesn't fit well under the arm. Okay, I do have it stuffed, so let's take out the stuffing. So first off, this bag has a fairly small opening, which I mean, I guess is good for security, but inside there is one flat pocket. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. And there is a base that comes out, and when he ships it with the base separate so that you could technically, I think, like fold it up, but definitely want to keep that base shaper in there. It's very logo free, no logos, no branding whatsoever. Actually, you can't even tell where it's from, which I respect, but unfortunately it's just, yeah, it's bulky under the arms. One of the big reasons I don't like this bag is because of these little points here. So they're not particularly sharp or anything, but I mean, if you're putting this under your arm, it's definitely like hitting my arm. You know, if I were to bend my elbow, it's hitting my elbow. So that's one. Two, I think they might need a little bit better quality control. The edging here is jaggedy, and so it's not nice to touch. It definitely feels a little more budget. And then when you then grasp it in your hand, and the leather edging touches your hand, it's rough. Like it doesn't convey any sort of like luxury feel. So yeah, I mean, those are my two main gripes with this bag. It's just bulky, the points, oh, that's three. Bulky, the points, and then the leather edging of the handles. I will say the leather is beautiful. It smells very nice. It's quality leather. Of course, it's not Hermes quality Togo, but it's you know, it's pretty nice. I'll show some shots here showing the different textures between the Atelier Pegaai leather and then the Hermes Togo leather. You know, I don't want to be harsh or anything, but it takes years to be a good bag designer. I mean, this is just his first iteration, so it's not to say he's not going to get better and it's not going to get more interesting. But for me personally, I will be letting go of this bag. And then the other bag that I'm going to talk about today is the Curve East West bag from Stow London. So Stow, I think, makes their bags also in Ubrik. So a little informational sheet. But yes, they also make it in Ubrik, Spain. So inside opens up real wide, and you have one flat pocket in here. Inside is like a suede material. It's very nice. And I love this top handle and also crossbody strap. So right now I have it on the shortest length so that it's more like a shoulder carry bag, but I can definitely make it a crossbody. This bag kind of actually reminds me of the Totem T-lock clutch without the T-lock, which I think is great because I had that bag for a little bit. I bought it and I sold it after a while because I couldn't stand that T-lock, but this is just a magnet, so it's very easy to open and close. That T-lock, I would be like fiddling trying to like get it perfectly in the T to then lock it. But the shape is very similar. If you like a little slouch, I do like this slouch as well. And then inside, yes, I like that it opens up real wide and it's very big. No feet on the bottom. Even though these are both made in Ubrik, Spain, this is definitely the kind of craftsmanship I would expect from Ubrik. There's no jagged edges, leather edging's very clean, very neat, stitching's very clean, very neat. And I'll compare this with my P.P.S bag that I have the berry here. I'll show you the different leather, but you can see it's very close. I think if someone said this was P.P.S, I'd be like, sure, yeah, looks like P.P.S to me. Well designed, well made, good leathers. And I actually think I did have the P.P.S Moki Mini for a little bit. I did a couple reels and I'll show you here. But that one, the leather was not good. I could tell that the leather quality was shiny and was more plasticky than the leathers they were using for the berry. And it's also more plasticky than compared to the leathers that Stow London is using. This is a fast favorite. I think on their website right now it's $5.50, which I think is a great price for this bag. I got it for a little bit less because I bought it secondhand on eBay. If you are looking for a nice casual bag that has a good design, good functionality, the Stow London brand is something you want to check out. I definitely will be using this bag quite a bit. I've already used it a couple times for soccer days, parents' night out. It's just a nice under the radar brand that's still high quality with good design. All right, so if you watched this all the way through, thank you so much. If you could like or subscribe, that would greatly support my brand new YouTube channel. I say brand new, but I mean by now it's probably like month 3 or 4. I mean, I guess relatively brand new. Anyways, and if you like more bag reviews, please stay tuned for one showing up here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.